Welcome to Simplify to Scale, a show dedicated to helping you scale a high impact and high profit business that you love without all of the complexity and chaos that can keep you trapped in the day-to-day. I'm your host, Krista Grasso, and with decades of scaling experience, I know what actually works and what's just hype. So if you are done with all of the one-size-fits-all scaling advice and all of the overnight success promises, and instead you want proven practical strategies that will help you simplify operations, elevate your leadership, amplify profits, and scale sustainably, let's dive in and get started. Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Simplify to Scale show. Today, we're going to be talking a little bit about success and scale in 2026, and this is going to be the first part of a multi-part series. So in prior episodes, I talked about the shift in your offers and how you want to be looking at offers for service-based businesses as we go into the new year. I've talked about the future of operations and some of the shifts in operations. I've talked about what to do if your goals feel out of reach before you even step into the new year, and how to make sure that you're really looking at your vision through a new lens so it's very aligned and you're putting in place the right systems, the right structure, the right team, the right things that you ultimately need to be able to achieve it. And today I want to talk about something that I find to be a big differentiation in getting your team on board, in getting everyone aligned on the same page, moving in the same direction, and ultimately able to take that vision and goals that you've set and make them a reality much sooner. And this is something I see few businesses actually do. And this is set guiding principles for the year. So a lot of businesses just dive right into action without a real plan, without a real strategy. Some will set a vision or set goals. Every once in a great while, those vision and goals actually map beautifully to the work that people do in the business. This usually is the few businesses that have a good strategic planning practice. I know a lot of the work that we do with businesses as we help them scale is put that connection in place between the vision, the goals, the financial targets, and the actual activities. So building the planning bridge between the possibility of where the business wants to go and the practicality of making that real and making it happen. But I like to distinguish it from the vision, the goals, and the financial targets. And so to give you an example of what this looks like, I thought I would share with you our guiding principles. So I'm actually going to read this to you today directly out of our success playbook that we've put in place for the new year. Because in addition to getting clear on where we want to go long term, and then translating that into the vision that we have for the year itself, in addition to setting the overarching high-level goals and financial targets, in addition to getting clear on what each person is going to be doing, again, at a very high level, because most of our planning, like the actual actions we're going to take, we do just-in-time planning. That is one of the keys if you work in a lean and agile way. You have your more high-level directional roadmap of where you're going to go, and then you do more just-in-time planning. And so that tends to be the way that we work. But when we look at 2026, we've got all of the directional roadmap in place. But here is the backbone behind all of the actions we're going to take, all of the just-in-time planning that we're going to do. And here's how we're going to connect that overarching roadmap with the specific decisions that we make around actions. And these are our guiding principles as we look forward to 2026. And these are what I encourage you to do as well. And that as you do your planning sessions with your team, you're having these conversations. I created these alongside my team. I did the first pass, and then we collaboratively refined them together. Highly encourage you to do the same as well. But let me walk you through the ones that we've set so you can get an example of what this looks like in practice. Our first guiding principle is extraordinary excellence, being the best in the world at what we do. We settle for nothing less than doing every single thing as if we are the best in the entire world at it, and acting as the one who models the way for others from the tiniest thing to the biggest thing. And I'll give a little context around this. I think a lot of businesses do a lot of things, and they kind of half-ass all those things and they're semi-mediocre at all of those things, not because they don't have the ability to be excellent at it, but because they are spreading themselves so thin that it is not realistically possible for them to do every single one with excellence. By having this guiding principle in place that we need to be the best in the world at everything we do, well, then that naturally limits the number of things we can do. Because if we exceed that, if we put too many things in place, there is no way we are going to be the best at it. There is no way we are going to be able to have the level of extraordinary excellence that we strive for. So it's one thing to tell your team, do less but better. And that's one of mine. We're going to get to that. It's another thing to give them something that they really believe in. They are A players, they're rock stars. They want to be excellent. They want to be extraordinary. They can buy into extraordinary excellence. And if they know that's the guiding principle behind what they're doing, what they're committing to, behind the decisions that they're making, behind them raising their hand and saying, yes, I can get behind this. Yes, I can do this. Then it naturally forces them to do less things but better. It naturally causes them to think through that. But instead of it feeling like more of like a platitude, it feels like something that they can more embody. And that's where this one came from. Now, the next one that goes right along with this is exceptional quality. Make a list and check it twice. So in order to perform with excellence, we need clarity and quality control so we can commit to proactively asking questions if priorities or success criteria are unclear. Checking our own work, nothing gets published or marked as complete until every acceptance criteria is done. It's tested and tested again. And we ask for support when we want a second set of eyes on our work. So this is very much from the team perspective, them saying, I commit to exceptional quality. I pride myself in exceptional quality, but I can't deliver exceptional quality if I don't even know what success looks like. So this forces them to ask the questions and to say, hey, I don't really know what's expected of me here. Or I know where you're going with this, but I need support in getting there. And it forces me and Jessica and those of us who are supporting the team to be more clear, to give them clarity on what success looks like, to let them know what quality actually means to us. And so again, these are ways of keeping everyone focused on the right things, of creating the type of ecosystem environment experience that we want for our clients and for our team without saying things that most people say as like these generic values that don't really get at something that people fully buy into. So this is the second one. And this is very much a how they work one. The next one is more about our clients. And this is elite client experience providing a white glove service. So we go above and beyond expectations at every touch point and provide support in a way that reflects our deep respect and care for each client. We don't just wait for them to ask, we pay attention to body language, cues, and patterns to anticipate needs before they arise. We provide what feels like tailored solutions to fit their unique preferences and priorities while keeping things consistent and scalable on the back end. We look for ways to add in unexpected moments of excitement, such as gifts for every certification achieved, shout outs or highlights, checking in on important life or business milestones and events. So this is us taking really exceptional care of our clients. And because we do deep work with our clients, because we have a value over volume model, this allows us to provide that white glove service and really have that more intimate experience for our clients. Now, it's different in our community, of course, where we have larger scale, larger numbers of people coming together, especially as we continue to grow that out in the new year. But for our certifications and for the private work that we do with clients, this is absolutely the way that we approach it. And we take pieces of this in this same sentiment and we apply it into the community so that we can do this at a broader scale as well. One thing I've shared on prior episodes is that the goal for the new division of the Business Strategic Ops Institute, we're 1 year in now, but we are planning to make this an 8-figure business. And so our next one is be the business we want to be and have an 8-figure state of mind and performance. So we embody the principles of a business capable of achieving extraordinary 8-figure success and impact, modeling the discipline, mindset, and execution. We think big, act boldly, and operate with a level of quality and attention to detail that reflects an 8-figure business. We ensure every decision, action, and initiative aligns with our vision, values, and guiding principles, so we are achieving aligned success. We create the systems and behaviors that support not only reaching but sustaining this level of success. So this is again about that embodiment. How do we act as if? How do we step into the 8-figure business before we have achieved becoming an 8-figure business? Every big business milestone I have ever achieved throughout my 30 plus years of business ownership has been this. It has been getting clear on what that next level is and literally becoming it before we become it, stepping into it, acting as if, making decisions from that place. And so this is very much that embodiment and being the business that we want to be. So whatever that is for you, maybe it's 8 figures, maybe it's 7 figures, maybe it's multi-7, maybe it's multi-6, whatever that particular goal is for you when you look forward, how do you start to embody that now? How do you step into that now? Our next one is right fit or no fit. We treasure the work and the clients. In order to achieve extraordinary excellence, maintain laser focus, walk our walk, provide an elite client experience, and be the 8-figure business we want to be, we need to ensure the right fit across all aspects of the business, strategy, planning, systems, team, and clients. Team members are in roles aligned with their strengths and zone of genius or have a clear path to get there within the year. They're aligned with our company and team-based values, and they are all in for the success and scale of the business. They show up as the rock stars they are. They always bring their A game, and they demonstrate inspired ownership. We don't settle for less than consistent and exceptional performance, and they don't settle for a misaligned role. Clients are ideal dream clients, or we say no and refer them elsewhere. Our business model and supporting strategies are 100% aligned with our vision and values, and both scalable and sustainable on our path to 8 figures. Our systems, structures, and plans reflect the business we want at our next level. So this is really important to us, and I think this is one of the keys of leading a really high-performing multi-7 or 8-figure business, is in the beginning, in the earlier days of business, you have one person wearing a million different hats in the business. At first, that's just you. You've got every single hat. And then over time, you start to hire other people, and those people have a lot of different hats. And in doing so, what happens is you've got somebody who maybe you hired them for the thing that they're superpower at. Maybe you hired them for the thing that they are a complete rock star at. But they end up taking on this other thing, and then this other thing, and then this other thing, and then that other thing, and then this other thing. And they end up so far outside of their zone of genius that they don't even get to do what they do best very often. And all of their results either end up not being as good as they could be, or they end up fairly unfulfilled because they're not doing what they really love to do, and instead are spending so much time on things that they don't. So we always try to keep people aligned with their strengths and their zone of genius. And we recognize that there's always going to be times where people have to pitch in, people have to take on extra hats, people have to do more things, especially as we're trying something new or implementing something new, or we have team member changes. But that we try to always get people back as much as possible to their zone of genius within the year. So that way, if people are doing something, they can be confident that it's a short-term contribution as opposed to a long-term forever thing. This has had a really big difference on team and on retention and on just overall happiness of people on the team. And then the same thing with clients, right? We are so far past the point where we would just say yes to anyone. And I think when your business is in a good place, it's easier to be more discerning. When your business is struggling, it's a lot more challenging to be discerning when you're like, someone will pay me, yes, right? And so we have had to really walk this guiding principle year over year over year. Even in the years that were not easy years in the business, we have had plenty of years throughout the life of our business that have been rough ones. And we always make this a guiding principle because we want our team to be happy. We want to be happy. We want to do our best work, and we want to work with people that we know are going to get the best possible results. And to me, when you can do that and you know that you've got the right fit clients, you know that you're pouring your time, your energy, your expertise into the people that you both want to work with and that you know are the ones that are going to get the best possible results. When your team is pouring their precious time and focus and energy into the work that they love and that fuels them and that ultimately will help propel the business forward as a result of it, that right there is the key to a sustainable and successful and scalable business. And when we do right fit or no fit, it enables us to do the other things, the other guiding principles, because we are discerning, because we are selective, and because we make sure that everything is very aligned overall, aligned with strengths, aligned with fit, aligned with values. Okay, two more. Next one is laser focus, doing less things way better. So I know I mentioned that this was one of them. We call it laser focus, and this applies to both the business and the individual and requires a commitment to doing the reps and optimizing. And this includes doing what needs to be done, even if it isn't the sexiest or most fun, shiny new thing. The core repeatable activities of each role are critical and take priority over the new things to pursue. We prioritize the highest impact initiatives and let go of distractions. We lean things out and go all in on fewer things, including offers and channels. We ensure our efforts are concentrated on producing quality over quantity, continuously improving and optimizing for exponential results. So this is honestly the whole motto of leaning out, right? Maximize value, minimize waste. This is something that we live and breathe every single day. And then finally, our last one, which is really important to me, is that we walk the walk and model the way. We are leaders who model the way for our clients and for each other. We embody all aspects of lean scaling and follow the same principles and practices we share with our clients. We lead with integrity, showing through our actions what's possible. We serve as examples of dedication, accountability, and excellence in every aspect of our work. So to recap our guiding principles: extraordinary excellence, exceptional quality, elite client experience, being the business we want to be, right fit or no fit, laser focus, and walk the walk. We rewind a few episodes back to episode 246. I talked about the key thing that prevents freedom and autonomy for founders is discernment. And if you think about the ability for people on your team to make good decisions, if you think about the ability for them to be really discerning and to know what the right things are to be focused on, to be able to handle things in your absence, to be able to take over the day-to-day so you don't have to be involved in all of the activities, all of the decisions and validating things. Well, if they all understood and bought into and embodied those guiding principles, that would give them the discernment to be able to do that. This is how I am able to not be stuck in the day-to-day of my business. It is not just that I set a clear vision, which I do. It is not just that I make it clear what outcomes we're working towards and what our goals and financial targets are, which I do. It's not just that we have good planning practices in place, which we do. It's not just that we have high-performing team practices in place and regular insights into things, which we do. It is the fact that we have these guiding principles that every single person on the team not only understands and buys into, but they embody. And that embodiment allows them to be discerning. It allows them to make the right decisions. It allows them to take the right actions, and it allows them to do things that always align with the values of the business that take us towards the 8-figure business and 8-figure impact that we're working towards. I thought you might enjoy the behind the scenes look at what I actually do with my team and how we actually plan for a year and how we actually move things forward and achieve the results that we do and have everyone going in the same direction, aligned around the same things, and operating at really what I would call peak performance. So if you do not yet establish guiding principles in your business, these are different than, but very complementary to your vision and your values and your mission and all of the things. Highly encourage you to do that. And if you would like some support in coming together and building out your plan for the new year, if you would like to work with me and my team on defining what your plan looks like for 2026, on connecting all of this down to building that roadmap for what your team will be focused on, I actually am virtual planning retreat on December 16th. I've hosted an annual retreat for planning, either virtual or in person, for so many years now. And given life events, I've not been able to do this for the past 2 years. And I am so excited to be bringing it back again this year. If you have not attended one of our retreats with me, this is where we go really deep into making sure that you are set up for success and scale in the new year. We look at specifically what's working now in today's market and what's not. We base everything that we do on your vision and where you want to take your business, how you want to work, what's working, what's not working. And we map out and create the roadmap so you know what you need to get there. And so you and your team have clarity in what it looks like to move forward and hit the ground running with the best possible path for success for the year. Depending on whether or not the retreat is virtual or in person, the retreats have always varied anywhere from $997 to $49.97. But I'm doing something really special this year. And because I know how challenging it can be to feel clear and to feel like you can get clear when there is so much uncertainty in the market, when you may or may not have found your footing in what's really working well with your offers right now, I've decided to offer this entirely differently. You can come and join us for the day for only $497. You get a copy of my digital lean out planner to guide you all throughout the year as well. Or if you'd like to do this and then spend an entire year together, which I highly recommend, we're actually doing super special pricing right now for only $997 to come in and join us for the one-day retreat and then get an entire year with us inside Soul Collective. And this is where I'm continuing to keep you on top of everything that's working, any changes that are coming. We have live interactive conversations every single month around strategic leadership. You get access to our monthly AI implementation labs, so you can look at how to strategically use AI in your business. And you get an incredible community of people at your level, so you could talk through and work through everything that you need to not only hold yourself accountable to what you create in the roadmap together, but also to handle the pivots and the adaptations that are going to naturally come up throughout a year. So I'd love for you to be a part of that. This is going to be small. It's going to be intimate. You're going to be on camera. We're going to workshop. You're going to leave with your roadmap for the new year, something you can take action on, something you can share with your team. And if you choose to join us inside Soul Collective, which is what I highly recommend because that gives you both a retreat and a full year together, then you can get started right away and you get a bonus session on December 2nd, where we're going to take a look at the one number and the one and only number that you really need to know to hit your financial targets for next year. It simplifies everything that you do in your business. It makes everything that you do for marketing and sales so much simpler. We are going to do this in a live and interactive work. We're going to share with you the proprietary method that we use with all of our clients. And even better, we're going to show you how to leverage AI to simplify and reverse engineer your results so you know how to realistically hit your financial targets with the specific offers that you have, or where you might need to pivot your offers in order to hit those results. So when you join us through Soul Collective, not only do you get the year of support on top of the one-day retreat, but you also get that bonus workshop on December 2nd, where we're going to set your key number for the year that simplifies everything you're going to do to hit your targets. And we show you and give you access to some great AI engines and prompts to be able to simplify that whole process down and really keep guiding you throughout the year. So you'll find the links to everything in the show notes, or head to strategicopsinstitute.com/retreat and you'll get all of the details. I really hope to see you there, and I will see you again next week. Thanks so much for tuning in to this week's episode of Simplify to Scale. If you'd like to take things further, I invite you to join me for my Scale Smarter, Not Harder interactive workshop. Head to strategicopsinstitute.com/scale smarter to get registered. Not only will we dive into what might be keeping you trapped in the day-to-day, but you'll have the opportunity to ask me your questions live. If you got value out of today's episode, I'd love if you'd take a moment and rate and review the show so more businesses can learn to scale more simply and sustainably. Be sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode, and I'll see you again next week.